Yeah,
Tell me about how you found the space and maybe a little bit about how you built it.
My funny little act about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, used to rehearse there with another band, and it was a storage room for the church. And I just started doing some recording, and I just got like a little like Motu rig, and I did a recording, just simple drum, blah blah blah. Took it home, listened, and I was like, oh wow, and it was straight off the timeline. The drums were the best sound, and I'd been recording a lot by this point, and I was always just getting these terrible. And I just realised it's the room.
Yeah,
it's just the room. I want to hear a room, and I'd done staggered microphones, and I'd done like early experiments with whatever crap I had, but I was just like, it's just the same mics, the same drums, but the room is making, because like the traditional thing was I just dampen rooms, I just make everything dead, and that's great, it's great, but I really started to understand that when I hear a cymbal getting choked by something that, or a snare, it's just it's really limiting, and I can deaden things easily. You can't expand it. So, and this goes back to a call back to like this reverb thing. I couldn't understand why I was I'd have these terrible dead shit sounds with just, if you're using like cheap mics and cheap drums in a crap room, like that's just it just stings. And I just,
yeah,
just taking one thing out the equation, like, oh, now it's in a good room. I was like, oh, this is, that's way more important than all the other things I've been worrying about, actually. And that's just changing the room. So, and also I do like a small label. It's not a label. It's more like a channel called postmusic.info. Check that out.
Oh yeah, I saw you have like Post Music TV on your website.
All that, and we've got like a YouTube, and there's the sessions that are on from the studio there. They're worth a look at. So like,
yeah,
I'll just do like multicam things and blah blah blah. But at one point I did a project where we did like 13 bands in this disused cinema. And we like purposely put bands in curious places, on the roof, in the boiler room, in this vast kind of like emporium looking thing. And the premise being it would just look cool and we'll just record it. But obviously, once I got the recordings back, I started to realize that like things that I thought would be a terrible space actually were fucking great. And like, if I put a band in a bathroom, like a horrible bathroom, an actual set of toilets, and there's like a member in each cubicle, and there's a drummer, and it's all tiled, and it should be horrendous with the cymbals, and it was. But I realized that I can just do this cut this. Anyway, I just realized that the rooms are interesting, and actually the character that you get from it is better than the payoff of going, I'm going to put a crap reverb plug-in on it to make it sound like a room. Like that was what this like paradigm like shift in my brain was, instead of like, and yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So you're all about capturing a band in their element, how they, in the way that suits them, and in a room that has a vibe.
Yeah, and it's still kind of faked though. This is the thing. You can't have the amps ruining everything, and but if you really want to get that tone, you still just need the drums on, and then this is like a very difficult thing to have to go through it with a lot of artists, I find, because it's like they want to play with their big amps, and my room isn't the room to do that in, really. And if you want to be able to turn up those room mics and hear the drums sounding like that, because I usually just demo, I'll show you the difference with your amp on versus this thing where I can now smash the room mics on the kit, and the kit sounds amazing, and your amp will now sound amazing too, because we're going to do that separately and put that on multi mics and etc.